Port of Leith. Tell us a little bit about what you're building, what you're creating, and what you're bringing to the world when it comes to whiskey, gin, spirits, and an experience over in Scotland.
So what we're doing is we've built a small bit of land down in the docks of Leith, right next to where the old bonded warehouses and all the old whiskey heritage used to be. And we're building something completely different. We're building a brand new building that's going to be 9 stories tall. It's going to be the first vertical distillery in Scotland. And it's going to bring a whole new scientific angle towards manufacturing whiskey.
Yeah. I mean, Edinburgh, Scotland's capital city, and, people think of Scotland golf and whiskey and so much history and heritage there. What we're doing is returning an industry that used to be in Scotland's capital city. It dominated the place, and for 2 guys who grew up there, it's an incredibly exciting thing for us to be doing. So, this started as 2 whiskey fans sat on a sofa just sipping whiskey and going, wouldn't it be great to make this stuff? And then it got a bit out of control because we sort of had a wee go at making it in our back garden as well and learned a lot from that. And now here we are, 7 years later, just started construction on one of the most exciting buildings to be built in our city in quite a long time.
So when you talk about the first, this is one of the first distilleries of its kind in Scotland, but it's the birthplace of whiskey for most people. There are distilleries over there. There are some great brands and some great companies that have done this. Why you guys? What is different and unique? And of all the things, now it's kind of like Mike and I, with Stick and Hack. I mean, we're starting this golf brand. There's a lot of golf brands out there. Why did we do it? Well, it was built kind of the similar way that you guys were drinking. We said we should do this, and then 48 hours later, we were doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And your story kind of fits the same as ours. Where did it go from, hey, this is a funny conversation we're having, sipping whiskey and drinking, we can make this, to, oh, my God, we now are business owners and we're actually going to be building a distillery.
Absolutely. Well, I guess it starts off, growing up in Scotland, you're surrounded by whiskey the whole time, and it's just part of the culture and heritage. And we love that. We grew up with that, and we love the history and culture behind so many of the great brands that you see over here. You've got Macallan on the back bar there, things like that. But then at the same time, we're kind of a new generation. We've been growing up watching like your amazing distilling revolution going over here in America, and we thought we want to bring a bit of that dynamism over here to Scotland as well, because so much of the recipes of current whiskies, they are based on so much tradition and heritage, and actually there are so many more things you could be doing within that, with your grains, how you distill it, your fermentation. We've got a real focus on fermentation and because whiskey is distilled beer. You make a beer and then you distill it, and so we're really focused on that beer bit and trying to do something really new and exciting with a really old drink, if you like.
Awesome.
So that's Ian, Paddy. Is it different for you, or are you the same? Did you just decide, hey, let's just do this? And
were you like me? And he said, we're doing this. I said, okay.
Yeah, I came home one day and found that Ian had bought a still from Portugal online. And he was trying to work out how to get it through customs without alerting HMRC.
That's fantastic.
How'd that go?
Yeah, it was like, hey, does this thing get in through the port okay? And the guy in Portugal was like, yeah, we just label it machine parts and hopefully no one opens the box.
It's all fine.
Hey, that guy sounds like a winning strategy.
The guy was fired 12 hours later.
Yeah.
But
it worked. Here we are.
You guys had your idea. 48 hours later, you were doing it with Scotch whiskey. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. We have to. You make your whiskey, and you've got to sit on it for years and years. 3 years before you can call it Scotch whiskey, and many more years before you can sell it. So it's been a really long journey for us, and actually a big part of it was finding where else could we get money in the meantime, because we can't sell anything for years and years. So the idea for us, as you say, Edinburgh, we get millions of visitors, and if we put the distillery at the right place, then loads of people can come and see us. So we've got a great site just down in the harbour in Edinburgh, and it's where we're right next to the Royal Yacht Britannia. So any of these people out there who like to watch The Crown, you see that a lot in The Crown. That's the ship that the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh used to sail around the world in, and it's right next to our distillery now. It's a big visitor attraction in Edinburgh. So that's another part of what we're doing, just creating an awesome visitor experience for people to come and see and experience whiskey, and making a bit of gin too. Yeah. So this all took so long. We even had time to set up a gin distillery and start distributing gin. So,
Gin's got a bit of a comeback right now too, and it's huge, right?
Gin in the UK is going absolutely bonkers. There must be 100 new gin distilleries in the last 5 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You can't throw a brick in a cheap industrial estate without hitting a gin distillery.
Yeah.
And then it bouncing off that and hitting another one.
Yeah.